August, and Noel, are these names for a cabin or names for a troll? And each day has a theme, and it's really bizarre. You wake up one morning, not sure who you are. You dress yourself up as a hippie or villain. You might wear pajamas, that is if you're willing. But as Meryl said, was it only last night? It rings loud and clear, and no doubt it is right. Here you are real, your heart is so true, and I can be me, and you can be you. Here we are we, and that's our belief. There is no they, and that's a relief. But enough of this talk that is way too emphatic. It's time to discover the campers dramatic, like Morgan and Skylar and others all smiley, Reagan and Rachel, of course, Katie O'Reilly, and Ella and Megan, Alyssa and Brett, and Phoebe and Abby. Now, who'd I forget? Shaylee and Jonah, and Miles and Yakov, and Maddie and Maggie, it's hard to keep track of. Hogan and Ryan, and dear Miss LaRose, Colby and Mitra, and that's how it goes. Adam, Will, Bruno, to Liam's and Susie. There's so many more that one could get woozy. Suffice it to say, they're winners and champers, and day after day we cherish our campers. But what do they do on these long summer days? Unplugged, unconnected, no electrical haze, no cell phones, no earbuds. Do they stand arms akimbo? Frustrated and thwarted in this land of limbo? Not quite. Masquerade balls where you make your own mask, Papa Olympics if you're up to task, outdoor adventure, rotation, rehearsal, workshops, electives, and then a reversal. They'll go for a swim, they'll create their own saga, throwing a frisbee or locked up in Gaga. No lack of activity for any proclivity, and it isn't a crime to enjoy cabin time. Are you getting the picture? Is it coming in clear now? Have you realized at last just why we're all here now? Dear mommies and daddies and grandpas and nannies, look at these kids in high heels and bandanas, pursuing their goals because what you have given keeps them inspired and focused and driven. You believe in their talent. You've shown your esteem for that which they love and that which they dream. They'll grow up too quickly. For them, it's a breeze. And then the young Zephyrs become CITs. There's Lily and Aiden and Danny O'Leary, whose dancing is splendid, his demeanor is cheery, and Eric and Alex, Josh, Jamie, Jubb, and Jesse and Emma belong to the club. Peyton and Zoe and Brittany Wood, Sam Ellis and TJ, they're all for the good. And Catherine, Mackenzie, and Miss E. Romero, hats off to you, a beret, a sombrero. Isabel, Ethan, Parker, Miguel, they do what they do, and they do it quite well. Charlie, Olivia, Jillian, and Abby, they're tender and tough and gracious and Gabby. Bridget, Sierra, and Catherine, and Mary, their game show so perfect it almost was scary. How they prepared, how they glittered and glued. They danced, joked, and sang for the best tribal feud. Kudos to you kiddos, there's no need for explaining that Papa Camp had fine counselors in training. Now, here's the part that is hardest to write. I refer to the counselors who painted last night. And yes, it was late, and sure they were tired, but they painted the set while I promptly retired. My colleagues, my friends, my rocks of Gibraltar, my affection for you truly never will falter. Here's to you, Serafina, you're kindly and able, and Ratcatcher Christian, and awesome hair Capel, and Kari and Mary Cheryl and adroit Allie Foy. Marina and Kayla, there are more to enjoy. Sally Z, Bobby Burns, Sam F. and Sam Lane. Connell and Jack, your friendship's my game. The Schwartzbergs, dear Dan and lovable Nate. Jess Graham and Soldati, you fill up my plate. And Jared and Tyler will surely convene in downtown Manhattan, where we'll make the scene. And Chloe, Marissa, oh boy, what a party. And who's that in the shorts? Boy, that's good-looking Marty. And Emily Bowden, Veronica Nurse, what great fun to know you and put you in verse. And Andrea Soul, it's sure been a ride. I know that your beauty is also inside. And Bob Antonito, the king of the lake. And Helen, our chef, you bet takes the cake. That beautiful banquet brought us to our knees. Where else in a camp do you get real Chinese? Now, have I omitted my own guiding star? Red-headed and bearded, you know who you are. Sardonic, sarcastic, sincere, and satirical. Amazing with music, smart and most lyrical. Our leader, our guru, our fine inspiration. Our Harry Houdini, our veal scallopini. Our clams and linguine, our dirty martini. Our Lincoln, our Shakespeare, our own Roald Dahl. Many thanks, Miles, you've given your all. Where live free meets die, that's the state of New Hampshire. There's a marvelous place that we call Papa Campshire. Oh, you've heard this before, and again is redundant. May your sorrows be few, may your pleasures abundant. Read books, be in plays, love people, you'll thrive. And know there is nothing like being alive.